For evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing.
I can't hear you.
For evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. That's exactly what's happening here. Good men are doing nothing. You're allowing illegal aliens to be dropped off the community.
As a border state, as a state that's been dealing firsthand with this immigration crisis, what's your reaction to these concerns that we heard in this video?
They're absolutely accurate. I've talked to Border Patrol myself. I've been down there with our own law enforcement. I've been down there with sheriffs. They all have the same complaints. The Biden administration is not just ignoring federal law. They're inviting illegals to come here in complete violation of federal law. They're actually creating the problem. It's a man-made problem here. We didn't have this problem under the Trump administration. We were continually making progress, and we were reducing the number of illegals. We were reducing crime. We were reducing the importation of fentanyl and other drugs that are killing people. And we were stopping people that had COVID from coming into our country. Under the Biden administration, these guys are right. They are completely ignoring the law. They're inviting violations of the law, and then they're sending people all over the country with COVID and doing it in the middle of the night so that the American people don't really know what's going on.
Well, just recently we had that video come out of Westchester, New York, where that plane full of illegal migrants were being let off the plane. Obviously, that gained a lot of attention. Obviously, that was not, a good thing that we saw, and is not a good thing that the Biden administration is allegedly doing. I also wanted to ask you about this lawsuit, your 9th border-related lawsuit against the Biden administration. You say that they abused the Central American Minors Refugee and Parole Program. You filed this lawsuit along with 7 other states. Can you talk about some of these abuses, or the abuse that you've seen from the Biden administration in relation to this program?
Yeah, it's really out of control. It's a betrayal of the American people, because right now, when people cross over and they claim asylum, that's sort of the loophole that everybody used under the Obama administration. And the Trump administration started applying federal law that said if you claim asylum, you have to be held in detention or sent back before your hearing. You can't just disappear into the United States like the Obama administration was lying. Well, the Biden administration started letting people disappear into the United States. And of course, people don't show up at their hearings. And this is the way that everybody comes across the border. They turn themselves in and they get sent around the country, and then we never see them again. Well, the new program that they started back up, this also was under Obama, was the Central American Minors Program. And the way it works is if you're one of these people claiming asylum and you're not allowed to be here, you're supposed to be in Mexico or somewhere else, you get to now invite your family, your children, and other caregivers. And by the way, the Biden administration pays for their transportation, their flights, their buses, whatever it is, we pay for it. The taxpayers pay for it. So the Biden administration is, again, creating a program that's completely illegal. They know it's illegal, and they spit in the face of the American people and say, we're just gonna use your dollars against you.
Well, the Biden administration had to reinstate the Remain in Mexico policy. Do you expect any action to be taken on what's referred to as CAM, the Central American Minors Refugee and Parole Program?
Yeah, I think we're going to win, just like we won in the Remain in Mexico program. I think we're going to win that because there is nothing in the law that says the Biden administration can ignore congressional law that was passed and then signed by a president and just do immigration the way they want to do, which is, hey, we're just going to invite people from Honduras and El Salvador and Guatemala to come. They don't have to have any legal status. We're just going to invite them, and we're going to pay for them to be here. And that's our rule, not any kind of law. So I have no doubt we'll win. But they're going to make us sue them, and they're going to make us go through the process, and that's going to take them, months to undo it. But meanwhile, they'll get, hundreds of thousands of people in the country, which is what they're trying to do.
I want to talk about President Trump a little bit. He endorsed you over the weekend, and I want to get your thoughts on his endorsement. He has a lot of negative rhetoric around him, especially in the media. Do you think his endorsement will be helpful for you in the primary coming up March 1st, or do you think it could potentially backfire?
Well, just to be honest with you, a lot of people like him because the media doesn't. The media tends to, and this is obviously not every media outlet, but tends to be very, very liberal, and they tend to hate people that have conservative values. And President Trump not only had conservative values, but he's effective. And so that's the worst kind of conservative, somebody that actually gets really good things done for the American people. The media can't stand that in general. And so I'm honored to have his endorsement. I think he's the greatest president in my lifetime. He got more done than any president I've ever seen. And I like President Trump. I have a lot of respect for him. No human being that I know of in this world, except for one, was perfect. And so I'm not saying President Trump's perfect, but I'm not saying anybody's perfect. We're all flawed individuals, but he was a great president, and truthfully, I love him. I think he did a great job.
And just along the lines of the media, I wanted to ask you about this potential lawsuit that you might be facing. The Travis County attorney has said that you violated the open records law and has threatened your office with a lawsuit if you didn't turn over communications related to your trip on January 6th to speak at the at President Trump's Save America rally. I wanted to just give you the opportunity to talk about this potential lawsuit, and are there any more communications that you're not handing over?
No, so this is a guy that was funded by, we had I thought a pretty good Democratic district attorney who was in that spot, and George Soros funded the race against her, trying to get people in there that would do just like this. This guy doesn't understand the Public Information Act. We oversee it. This was first of all, a personal trip. I didn't use state dollars. I used my own money to get there. I didn't even use campaign money. It was all my money. And it was a personal trip. It was not related to state business. And I have no obligation to turn over non-state related material just because some reporter that is in league with this this district attorney wants to make a story and wants to make a false claim. That's what they've done. They made a false claim. And of course, the media loves these false claims, and they love to dig into them and hope that they're all true and try to destroy people's lives. And that's what the media does today. And that's what these DAs were put there to do.
Do you, I guess you just talked about how it was more of a personal trip than, an official visit for you to come to Washington, D.C. Where do you draw the line with being a public official, but also, having the privacy as a American citizen?
Well, this is a political rally, so it's clearly not state related. It was 100% political rally. I just felt like I should pay for it myself. I wanted to go. I wanted to attend. I wanted to be there. I was invited to be there. And so it wasn't even a close call. It wasn't work related because it was a political rally. It was 100% billed as a political rally. I didn't go to deal with state issues. I went there to deal with the fact that I supported President Trump and was disappointed at how the election turned out. I felt like this was a forum for people to exercise their First Amendment rights. And I know that that's unpopular these days for the First Amendment and the Constitution to apply to all Americans. But, even Democrats, I support Democrats' right to have First Amendment. I don't try to tell them that they should be punished or put in jail because they have a different opinion than me. I welcome their different opinion. Unfortunately, some of these liberal Democrats and these media people, they love to have their First Amendment rights, but they want to punish other people for expressing theirs. And the reality is that's what's going on here. And the other reality is, this was a personal trip.